this July, there is certainly plenty to see. Take a look.
Why? Why? How about because this is the most important thing to ever happen in the history of the world?
You're the great improviser, but this you can't do in your head.
Are we saying there's a chance that when we push that button, we destroy the world?
Chances are near zero.
Near zero.
What do you want for theory alone?
Zero would be nice.
All right, that's just a sneak peek at the upcoming film Oppenheimer. And here to talk all about it and the other movies coming to a theater near you is our movie maven and editor from Rotten Tomatoes, Jacqueline Coley. So good morning, Jacqueline.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. So Oppenheimer, it's not released until July 21st, but you got a sneak peek, right?
Yeah, I've gotten to maybe see it. I don't know if Universal will come after me if I say this. The one thing I will say is this is Chris Nolan's latest epic, and it stars Cillian Murphy, his sort of like Cillian Murphy, his longtime collaborator, and the two of them are trying to tell the story of Oppenheimer, the man sort of considered to be the father of the atomic bomb. And it's a 3-hour epic. And what's interesting about it, though, is Christopher Nolan really wanted to make sure that you didn't just talk about him, what he considered the most important man of the 20th century, but really sort of examine his life through the various stages before the bomb, as he's making the bomb, and then the real work that he did after that to sort of harness this incredible power that he brought into the world.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it looks incredible, and the buzz around it is with the cast and everything is getting a lot of attention. Let's talk about the comedy world. Joyride.
Yeah, that's actually going to be in theaters this week, and it's from Adele Lim. If folks remember, this is All the Boys I Loved Before. She also worked on Raya the Last Dragon. This is her directorial debut. It stars Stephanie Hsu, who folks, of course, remember from Everything Everywhere All at Once. And this is an interesting one, too, for folks of the Asian American experience, because it talks about these sort of like trio of Asian American girls, and they're taking a trip back to one of the girls' birth area and sort of trying to figure out her history. And, you know, it's a road trip type comedy. Instead of doing it across the United States, they're doing it across their native land. And I think it's a really interesting way to sort of approach that. Very funny, very raunchy, and Adele Lim, I think, has just such a great comedic mind.
Well, Sherry Cola we had on the show.
Yes, she was fantastic.
She's hilarious. But it reminded me of like the female Asian version of Hangover.
Very much the road trip,
Right?
also another one of those. Basically any of these sort of like road trip things. And what's really interesting is I think another movie on our list also has like road trip vibes, like Barbie as well.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so next one, Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible.
Yes, this is the 7th Mission Impossible series. This is Ethan Hunt coming back for another adventure. This one is already set up to be in 2 parts. Chris McQuarrie is back, sort of directing it. And what's interesting with this one is it's Ethan Hunt sort of going against a unseen force. Technology is a really big part of the Mission Impossible franchise, but this is just a good old spy franchise that really ups the stakes. The big one on this one is that Tom Cruise actually jumped off a cliff with a motorcycle. I'm sure you guys are seeing this stunt right now. I swear to you, the man really does not value his body. And if you want to see that in the box office, go ahead and take a peek at Dead Right Day.
It's amazing that he does his own stunts and everything. It's
really does.
And they're not just like little stunts. These are crazy
stunts. And I will say too, with both Joyride and this one, they've already had critics raving about it. Joyride is 92% certified fresh on the tomato meter, and Dead Reckoning is 93. So these are 2 very critically acclaimed films already.
Okay, now tell us a little bit about the background for Barbie, because we were talking about it's getting a lot of buzz.
I mean, honestly, I will say if you haven't bought the movie already, because they're definitely marketing the heck out of it, you will definitely be able to see it the same weekend as Oppenheimer. A lot of folks are actually doing a double feature, seeing Oppenheimer and then following it up with Barbie. I know that's
juxtaposition.
Yeah, because it is really cinema wins. Because yes, we're going to get to see Barbie's adventure with Margot Robbie, Greta Gerwig, written by Noah Baumbach, her partner. They sort of co-wrote it together. But it's going to be an adventure that I think folks are going to be expecting things that they haven't seen, because not a lot has been known about the movie other than the style and the look of it. I think when folks sit down, they're going to be surprised at some of the themes that the film really explores about feminism, masculinity, and how Barbie exists in our pop culture.
Wow. What's it rated?
So that one's, I think it's rated PG-13, but don't quote me on that one.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. No, R. It's R-rated. It's R-rated.
It is R-rated.
So.
See, because people might think it's a children's movie.
I don't think
it might not be appropriate for
It might not be appropriate, but like WB, don't be mad at me. Either way, the one thing I will say about it is it definitely deals with more adult themes. This is not your kids' movie for sure.
Okay. And lastly, talk to us about Talk to Me.
My kind of genre.
This is A24, which is horror. They do so well. This is the folks that brought you Hereditary. This is actually a film that's already been out already. It's also 97% certified fresh on the tomato meter. It is what I would like to call a Gen Z horror movie. If folks remember the movie Bodies, Bodies, Bodies from earlier, I believe this year, this is very that, but really leaning into that horror. It's one of the few areas where folks really still go to the box office for it, is horror films, and Talk to Me goes into that. This actually tells the story of kids that are using the occult and maybe some, I think some forces that they're not familiar with to summon bodies, and then in the end, it kind of takes a turn that they can't control.
Oh boy.
Ooh, that totally sounds like it's up your alley.
Yeah, it is right. I mean, I love that genre. I love A24 and anything they do. PG-13 is what Barbie is.
Barbie's PG-13.
Oppenheimer, would you say it's a bomb?
I would say that honestly with Oppenheimer, what you're going to figure out is the fact that Chris Nolan made a bomb for this, and he made sure that he filmed it in a way that makes everybody feel a part of that moment. It's in 70 millimeter IMAX. It's one of the few films that has been shot completely in 70 millimeter IMAX. If folks are here in New York, I would say get to Lincoln Center and see it on the only official IMAX screen where you can see it in the way that he intended. Because there's things I think that Robert Downey Jr. said are meant to literally blow the sockets out of your eyes.
Oh, wow. Great.
All right,
Sounds
so
good.
I was being facetious, saying, "Is it a bomb?"
I mean, it is, but it isn't. I mean, look, it's going up against Barbie. I think everyone's going to have a hard time with that weekend.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Jacqueline Coley of Rotten Tomatoes. Thanks for being with us and being our movie guy today.
Yeah, I want to know how to become one of those people that could do the sort of.
It's the biggest scam in the world. That I watch movies for a living.